If you think Gilead is the only prison in the Testaments, you are wrong. Episode 7, Commitment, just revealed that the freedom outside the borders can be an even deadlier trap. Today we are breaking down every layer of this episode, exposing why Daisy is so much more than a spy, and why Gilead and Aunt Lydia just made the biggest mistake any jailer could ever make. They underestimated the second daughter of June Osborne. Let us get into it. The story begins with a terrifying kind of silence. The calm before the storm that is going to bring Gilead's walls crashing down. In Commitment, we watch Daisy listening to Radio Free Boston, right inside the Pearl Girls' dormitory. This is not just a girl sneaking a radio. This is a full security breach at the very top of their system. And Gilead has been running a vicious game to get girls like her. A game called love bombing. They hunt down runaways and homeless girls on the streets of Toronto, luring them in with warm meals, cartoons, and talk of God's love. But the moment they cross the border, the mask comes off and there is no way back. But the real shock is not the radio. The real shock is Daisy herself. This girl did not come from the streets. She is a revolution project, carefully built inside a Mayday laboratory. And here we flash back to Toronto, where we see Rita, who we have all missed since The Handmaid's Tale, preparing Daisy for what is essentially a suicide mission. Rita reveals the secret Gilead does not know. Daisy's real name is Marguerite, and she is the winning card that June planted to destroy this regime from the inside out. Now we get to the most intense psychological confrontation of the entire episode. Commander Weston calls Daisy in for questioning. And Weston is not just any commander. Before the rise of Gilead, he was a crypto-millionaire with a criminal record for domestic violence. This is a man who understands the language of control. The radio is sitting right there on his desk. The tension alone would have broken most trained agents. But Daisy does exactly what Rita taught her. She holds her lie until it becomes the truth. She convinces Weston that she is just a broken runaway girl. And when he tells her God saved you, she fires back, completely calm. The Pearl Girls saved me. He corrects her. God did. She does not flinch. This is not just survival. This is Daisy putting the most powerful intelligence mind in Gilead to sleep. And the devastating cost of that is Talia, her innocent bunkmate, being dragged away screaming to take the blame. Which brings us to the question we have to ask. Is Daisy cold enough to sacrifice a fellow Pearl Girl? Or is this simply the price Rita warned her about when she said, if you go in there, thinking you are smarter than them, you will die? While Daisy is playing her spy game, Agnes is living a completely different kind of nightmare. In Gilead, there is no such thing as love. There is only what they call matching. And Agnes, who has been quietly dreaming of Garth, wakes up to find herself offered on an auction block to the most powerful commanders in the district. The name at the top of that list? Commander Weston. This man is not just a violent commander. He is a soul-breaker by profession. The scene where Paula tells Agnes that Weston is attracted to her rebellious spirit is one of the most disturbing moments in the episode. She compares Agnes to a horse and says there is no fun in breaking one that is already tame. This is Gilead showing its true face. They do not want faithful women. They want broken women, women who will never think about running. This is not a marriage. This is a systematic crushing of identity. And Agnes is finally beginning to understand that the home she thought was her safety is in reality a cell with very high walls. And now we arrive at the strangest and deepest scene in this episode. Agnes takes Daisy to her room and shows her a secret collection, a small bag of artifacts from the old world. A lighter, dice, a keychain, and even an old crack pipe with a rose design. Agnes has been gathering these objects not because she knows what they are, but because she is searching for an identity beyond what Gilead has permitted her to have. She is looking for a personality in a society that erases personalities completely. Daisy sees Agnes's innocence and mistakes it for ignorance. She almost tells her the truth about these objects, but stops herself. unwilling to shatter that innocence. And that moment of hesitation creates a crack of distrust between them. But the moment that truly electrified me, the moment I cannot stop thinking about, is when Agnes picks up Garth's discarded cigarette stub from the ground and holds it to her lips. This is not a romantic gesture. This is terrifying. Agnes is clinging to any scent of freedom, even if it lives in a piece of garbage. The perfect Gilead girl is beginning to transform into a rebel, and she doesn't even fully realize it yet. In the middle of all this darkness, we have Garth, the man Agnes sees as her only hope, the man Becca is beginning to warm up to, simply because he treats her like a human being, something extraordinarily rare inside Gilead. But if you pay close attention to the details, you will notice something. Garth is the one who let Daisy cross the border with her radio. He found it during the bag check and put it back without a word. And he smokes openly, as if he is completely above the law. So here's the question this episode forces us to ask. Is Garth a Mayday operative? A spy working for the resistance? Or is he a hunter, giving spies enough rope to eventually hang themselves? Our theory is that Garth is the one who set up Talia to protect Daisy. Because Gilead is not stupid. They know there is a traitor among them. And the moment the eyes came in and dragged Talia away screaming in front of every Pearl girl, that was not an accident. That was a message. A message that says, this prison has no doors, and if you follow your curiosity, what comes next is worse than death. And here is where we get to the analysis that defines this channel. Critics are starting to notice that Agnes is beginning to show traces of June Osborne. The sharp gaze, the stubborn defiance, even the way she hides her secrets. We are watching rebellion genetics detonate right in the face of the system. Agnes is now trapped between Weston, who wants to break her, and Daisy, who is hiding the truth of the outside world from her. But the real shock is this. Gilead is manufacturing its own enemies. The moment Paula threatened Agnes and compared her to a horse that needs to be tamed, she did not intimidate her. She ignited her. Paula took a compliant girl and turned her into a ticking bomb. Agnes is not going to rebel just for love. She is going to rebel for existence itself. And unlike what you might expect, what she has injected herself with is not hope. It is rage. And in Gilead, rage is the most dangerous weapon of all. Commitment was not a transitional episode. It was a casting call for the civil war that is going to end Gilead. Daisy is now the spy who sacrifices everyone around her. And Agnes is now the rebel, searching for her identity in a cigarette stub. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think Daisy intentionally let Talia take the fall to protect her mission? Or is she simply a victim of circumstances that are bigger than she is? Drop your answer in the comments right now. And if you want to know what happens next, make sure you are subscribed and the bell is on. Because in our next video, we are breaking down episode 8, Broken. And I will tell you right now, that title is not a coincidence. It is going to tell us everything about June Osborne's fate before this season ends. I will see you in the next one. And remember, in Gilead, always watch your back.